Today is day 4 of our 30-day adventure with the circular sock machine. Today I'm going to make a Christmas ornament, and for this project we're only going to use half of our needles. So we are going to take out every other needle. Now, we can't take them out where they're underneath the V-cam here, but we can see right down here, possibly, if I zoom in a lot. There is a cam right here, so any of the needles that are down in the cylinder or either side of that I can't take out right now. If I try to take them out, they just get stuck. So that one won't come out, but this one will. And I just pull up on it and pull it out. They've got this little heel on the end that holds them in. So I'm just going to go around and take out every other needle. I can do it pretty easily with my fingers. That probably is the quicker way. The stitch that is happening in this is called a mock rib, and it will get you a smaller circumference, and it will also be a very stretchy knit, which is why it's great for these Christmas ornaments, because it's going to go over a glass ball. And it's not a, I don't know what the diameter is, maybe 3 inches. They're kind of the regular sized bulbs, not a large one. Going to set those off to the side and keep going around and pulling them, as many as I can, till we get to where the V-cam won't let us pull them out anymore, and then we'll crank around, and then we're going to add our setup bonnet. I bet this one won't come out. Nope. Okay. I'm going to use the same yarn that I used yesterday, which is Knit Picks Sock Garden, and it's kind of a pinky color with some yellow highlights. Not super Christmassy, but it works for demonstration purposes. Now, you know the setup bonnet has 32 loops, and we have 32 stitches because half the needles are out, so I'm just going to put this bonnet, the loops, on every needle. And then we're again going to start off with our waste yarn. We'll just do about 5 or 6 rounds with the waste yarn. Okay. Grabbing the waste yarn. I guess there's a few more that I can put on over here. I'm not going to go more than that because I want to start at our green points at the beginning of the round. I'm sorry, I didn't take that back out. Zoom back out. I am now. So the loops from the setup bonnet are on every needle. And once we add the waste yarn, we can crank about 6 rounds. We'll stop about halfway through this first round so that we can hook up the rest of these needles. My row counter should be coming pretty soon, so I'm anxious to get that. I'm going to add my weight. Then we can just put the rest of these hooks or these loops on the needles. And we will be ready to go. Okay. Okay, I did 8 or 9 because it just didn't look like quite enough. It does roll up, you know, it's stockinette stitch. So even though I think it's a pain when you're pulling it out, it probably is better to have too many than too few rounds. Okay. So now we are going to remove the waste yarn and we'll start our project yarn. And we're going to do 22 rounds with the project yarn. I will also be really happy to get my slotted yarn carrier mounted. I've got the yarn carrier itself, which will go right up here, and then you can put the yarn through the slots. It's a lot easier, but it doesn't fit on this, which is all one piece. So there will be a separate piece that this bolts into that comes down here, and it bolts into the machine there. Okay, so we're going to do 22 rounds. 1, 2. There we go, 22. We'll cut the yarn and then we're going to go back to our waste yarn. I did try doing this once where I did multiple ornaments in the same tube, and though it worked fine, you had to cut the waste yarn in the middle, and that caused that yarn to be broken into some really small pieces that were getting everywhere. So I decided that is not an optimal way to do this unless you like cleaning up lots of little pieces of yarn. But they get everywhere. It's almost as bad as dog hair. Okay, so we'll end this. Okay, simple project. We're going to cinch up the ends just like we did with the headband, where we're going to get a length of yarn, of the project yarn, and take this off, and go through each right leg of, we'll go in each right leg of the first stitch, the first row of the project yarn, and we'll just cinch that up on both ends. We'll cinch it up on one end, stick the glass ball in, and then cinch it up on the other end. And I will add that to the end of the video here. Okay, we are going to insert the needle into the right leg of each stitch all the way around to cinch this up. You'll notice that these stitches, because there's only half as many, are a little bit looser than yesterday, even though I did not change the gauge at all. Here we go. Let's see. Where do I need to be? Right here. So into the right leg of each stitch. I do a few and then I pull that through. I think I want to pull this darker pink end. I wanted to say I need to pull the pink end, but both ends are pink. They're just different colors of pink. So again, we're going into the right leg of each V. Right leg, and then we skip over the left leg. Here we're coming to some yellow stitches, so you should be able to see those a little bit better. You want to make sure that you don't pull too aggressively because you don't want to pull it out of the stitches you've already picked up. And we're almost to the end here. We don't want to forget the last stitch because that is kind of easy to do. Move these out of the way. So this stitch is kind of just under the beginning stitch, and I'm going to do one more besides that just to ensure that we don't miss anything. Before you start pulling out the waste yarn, just look at that and make sure that you didn't miss anything. I think we're good. So we will pull out this waste yarn. This is sort of like backing a trailer. You have to do it backwards than how you think it would do to keep it in the right place. And this is kind of what I meant, that it's annoying that you have a lot of this to pull out. But if you look at the other end of this, it sort of ran a little bit, and it's a good thing that I have that extra. Okay, so that waste yarn is gone. That piece is from the other end, and then this is the yarn that was knitted with, I believe. Yes. So I'm going to stick that inside for right now. just to get that out of our way. And these 2 yarns I will use to cinch up this end. We're going to try and get it as tight as we can. Got some extra length there that I don't need, and it's in the way, so I'm going to cut that off. And I'll just do half of a square knot here to tie those together. And cinch it a little bit more. Tie it again. These ends can both be worked in on these stitches that are cinched up. So you can just use the tapestry needle and thread those through. Then we are going to put our Christmas bulb in. And it looks like it'll be too small, but it really won't. So we're going to run our yarn through the stitches, the right leg of each stitch, just like we did before. And we're going to start where the rows change, and you can see that this round was the new round, and it's 1 row higher than where we stopped. So we're going to start there on the higher round, and as we come around, we'll end up on the round below. We won't pull it all the way through because we don't want to lose what we've already threaded our needle through. Just going to continue to stick our tapestry needle into the right leg of each stitch as we go around. And once we get those all on the yarn, we will take our remaining waste yarn out. You can do these ornaments with different patterns in it too, and I'm sure you will see some of those as we go further along in our adventure. But for right now, this is just a super simple Christmas ornament. For somebody that likes pink. Okay, we're to that last one, and we're going to go one further just so that we don't lose anything. Okay, so that is in. I've got more yarn than I need, so I'm just going to cut that off now. We will pull out our waste yarn. Just keep pulling, just keep pulling. Just like Dory, just keep swimming. Okay, that is the end of our waste yarn. That's going right down in my trash can. I could save those and reuse them, but at this point in time, I'm not doing that. because I have created a lot of waste yarn. Okay, so it looks like it's too small, but you cinch it up and it covers the bulb. There we go. So I'm going to just tie this in a knot, and then the only thing I have left to do is to work in my ends. There is a knitted Christmas ornament from the circular sock machine. Thanks for watching day 4 of Adventures with the Circular Sock Machine. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.